Months ago, we took a big step and we got a new puppy named Zebby. Here's a look at him. So everybody knows, we did, you don't feed your dog chocolate, but we had a real scare when Zebby ate a bunch of grapes. Dr. Rebecca Greenstein is here to tell us about other surprising foods that you may not know are toxic to your pets. Welcome to Your Morning.
Oh, hi, thanks for having me.
So this was a real shock to me. I'm a new puppy owner, so I, sort of Google foods that are dangerous, and it said medical emergency. I called our vet. They said, how soon can you get here? Because I didn't realize that grapes were this toxic. What is it about grapes?
You're not alone in that one. So grapes, it's sort of a mysterious mechanism, but it doesn't take many grapes to cause a lot of problems.
Like how many?
In a 18-pound dog, let's say, it's been documented that as few as 5 or 6 can actually be fatal, which is crazy.
So he was little. He's like 7 pounds. He had eaten 3. So good that we got him to the vet in time.
Absolutely, yes.
And what can happen? What does it do?
So it can cause kidney damage or even kidney failure, which can be fatal. And it happens usually within the first 1 to 3 days.
And does it matter what kind of grapes?
No, it doesn't. So red grapes, green grapes, the raisins also can be retained in the stomach for a while and they can cause problems.
This is good to know because some of the articles that are out there say, well, if you skin or peel the grapes, it's fine.
No, they don't know enough about it and there's no minimum safe ingestion. So we don't even know if one is allowable.
All right, so just keep the grapes away.
Keep the grapes away.
Somebody said to us, pretend you have a newborn and it's a bottle of cleaner. Keep them that far away from your pet.
That's actually really good advice, yeah.
That's what we do from now on. They're locked in the fridge. All right, this is something else people may not know about. Onions and garlic?
That's right. So onions, garlic, leeks, chives, they're all members of the allium species. And when ingested at certain doses, they can cause a problem called hemolysis. So they can actually blow up red blood cells. This is particularly a problem in cats.
So if your pet does it have to be raw or is it cooked?
Very good question. It actually doesn't matter if it's raw or cooked. So it doesn't seem to affect the toxicity.
So, we are not supposed to feed our pets people food, but people do this sometimes if there are onions or garlic in it.
Yes.
You are putting your pet in danger.
Yes, as little as a spoonful of baby food can actually cause toxic effects in a cat.
Okay, so keep this away from your pets.
Yes.
All right, now here's one that I was surprised, and how would pets get at your raw dough? But keep raw dough away from your animals.
That's right. So this tends to happen with taller pets, so the Great Danes among us, counter surfers. So the dough ingestion can cause a ton of problems. So it's sort of like a triple threat. So what happens is when dough ferments, so when yeast ferments, it can cause, it produces alcohol and carbon dioxide. The alcohol can actually lead to an alcohol toxicity, so they act like they're drunk, usually within an hour or 2.
Well, let's talk about signs and symptoms that your pet has. With Zebby, I came in and he had a little stem of grapes out of his mouth. That's how I know.
That's good giveaway.
If you don't have that kind of a giveaway, what should you be watching for?
So in a case like dough ingestion, you're going to see them act like very depressed, lethargic, staggering when they're walking. They can actually even collapse just from the alcohol part. They also, because of the carbon dioxide production, they'll get this massive bloating of the abdomen, which causes a whole host of other problems. Like their stomach gets really distended and can even twist.
And what about with the other one? Same thing? Is there vomiting at all?
So the issue is with, in the early stages of a lot of toxins, it looks a lot like almost anything else. So first 6 to 12 hours with grapes, you're talking vomiting, diarrhea, loss of appetite. So you might not necessarily know unless you've seen them that they've done something like this.
All right, and then what are the procedures if you call the vet and say, my pet has had one of these, what will you do for me?
So what will I do for you? So what happens is a lot of these are time dependent. So when they come in, depending on the toxin, the first step is to induce vomiting. That's the key part of decontamination efforts. A lot of other ones will involve giving charcoal to sort of soak up whatever it is we haven't gotten from inducing vomiting. And sometimes we'll keep them on fluids.
And sometimes you keep them on IVs and fluids?
For grapes and raisins, absolutely, really important to protect the kidneys.
All right, now we know about nuts and kids. Don't put them in the lunches and make sure you check for allergies, but I didn't realize that macadamia nuts were toxic to dogs.
Macadamia nuts are very interesting and sort of obscure toxicity. This is a problem that only happens with dogs, and it's very interesting because it is severe but non-fatal, and they all make a recovery within 48 hours. So within sort of the first several hours, you will see them having difficulty walking, and particularly in the hind end, and they can even look like they're paralyzed in the hind end.
Really?
These are really, really dramatic signs, and no matter what you do, they all recover in 48 hours.
So they will recover, but do I still need to, do the emergency trip to the vet?
Yeah, because their temperature can spike and their legs can be very swollen or painful, and it does require medical intervention.
Okay, and this last one is one that you may not necessarily have out on a table. It's hidden in certain foods, but definitely dangerous.
That's right. So xylitol is an artificial sweetener, so they're sort of everywhere these days, but not a lot of people know about xylitol. Xylitol is in gum, in toothpaste, in certain baked goods, and this one is actually really dangerous. You only need 1 or 2 pieces in a really small dog to cause problems. So within about 30 to 60 minutes of ingestion, they get a rapid, rapid drop in blood sugar. So they'll come in almost comatose or having seizures. And then 1 to 3 days later, they can go into liver failure. It's shocking that people don't know about this, but it's true.
And I'm so glad that you came with us today, Dr. Greenstein, to explain more about this for us. Thank you so much for being here.
You're so welcome.
All right, for more of these toxic foods, you'll find that information on our website, yourmorning.ca. We'll be right back.